Bill again. And many years ago, I used to go to this restaurant and they had this really great homemade ranch dressing, and I could never really figure it out. It was spicy, so I knew, and they called it Chipotle ranch, so I knew it had Chipotle peppers in it. But I wasn't really familiar with Chipotle peppers. I hadn't really been out there experimenting. So, you know, full circle, 20 whatever years later, I kind of think I've got a pretty good grasp on it, and I wanted to try and make it for you so that you can see what it is. So, Chipotle is, they're basically roasted jalapenos. So you get all that kind of nice roast flavor, you know, that smoky, great taste. And they come in this adobo sauce, which is kind of spicy. But one of the things that I always do when I deal with them, because that's what this is I like to dig them out, get them on the cutting board. And sometimes they're just kind of falling apart all over the place. And I probably want about, well, they're usually not this big. I was going to say I usually would use about 6, but these things are monsters. Yes, I just want to see what else is left in here. Yeah, see, that's kind of what I'm used to. Factory must have had some extra big ones, and I thought, well, we'll put them in there and hopefully Bill will get them. Alright. Let me grab my towel. My terrible towel. Gotta have something to wipe my hand down. Alright, so now what I gotta do is I just want to kind of cut them up, because they're usually whole, and when they're whole, sometimes they can be full of a lot of the liquid that we don't want. So I'm just kind of like slicing them. And yes, I know I'm using a really small knife, and that's because I was hoping this way you could see it a little better. But it's the same idea, no matter how big or small the knife is. You know, fingers off the blade. Obviously you have to hold this a little bit different because it's smaller. And what I'm trying to do is move them around, so I'm getting them out of the sauce as much as I can. And you want some of the sauce, don't get me wrong, because it does taste good. And it's going to add some really pretty flavor. But see, this was a whole one, and when I cut into it, there was a lot of liquid inside. Not sure I'm going to use all this, but I haven't really thought about it. Okay, that's what happens when you're really cooking. I rinse my knife off. These things do smell kind of toasty. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my scraper here, and we're going to use an immersion blender. So I need a measuring cup that's kind of flat on the bottom. If it's really too curved, it's really hard to get the immersion blender to do what it's supposed to do. And I'm going to take, I need 2 hands. Okay, that's a lot, but it'll be good. Bench scrapers are really great. Let me get this whole thing out of the way though. Whew. I can smell that a mile away. Alright, so now what else do we put in here? It's ranch dressing. I need garlic. So this is quite a bit. This is like 3 good sized cloves of garlic. It smells good. The other thing is, if you think about what ranch tastes like, so it's got that kind of garlicky and all those herb flavors. So the way I make it is I use chives, cilantro, and Italian parsley. And you know, I hate trying to go by measurements because they're so darn fluffy, even when you cut them up. But I'm going to put them in an immersion blender, so even more so, they're kind of still really big. But if you were to mush this down, it's probably a couple heaping spoonfuls of each. I juiced up a whole lemon. And I need some sour cream. So I need about a cup, because that's kind of the main ingredient. And we ate about half this last night with our baked potatoes with chives, so I figure most of it's just a little shy. Okay. So, let's see how our Mr. Friend, the immersion blender, is going to do in this. Oh, I had to turn it really high. That would have been exciting. I just pick up, I go into new space, just chomp it up a little bit. Ultimately, you want to get this stuff pretty fine. And because I pre-chopped all the herbs, this shouldn't take very long at all. Almost. Get good consistency out of this. Really pretty color to it. I always unplug these. Disconnect. So what I want to do is just get some of the stuff scraped off. Oh yeah. Try and stick my fingers up there, but there's a lot of stuff I can grab it with. Spatula. Just push the blade around with it. Alright. Got a place to rest. So this is almost done, but what's missing? Well, I can tell you what's missing. Two things. It's always fresh ground black pepper and everything. Then, and that's not a lot, okay, sorry. It's a lot of dressing. Then, I got here half a cup of buttermilk, right? And I need a quarter cup of mayonnaise. Well, I think I've showed this before, but I just wanted to reiterate, it's a big word, that we can do it by displacement. So I'm going to put mayonnaise in there until it's up to the 3/4 mark. Almost. I thought I was going to hit that perfect, but sorry guys. So now, in she goes. Now there are two ways of doing this. I could whisk this, but I think I can just mix it with a fork pretty good. If you'd rather use a whisk, that's fine. But that buttermilk is going to react with the lemon juice, and it's going to make it nice. Add some tartness to it. So we don't want to beat it to death. We just want to get, we're not going to reduce the size of any of the herbs or the garlic or anything, but what we do want to do is make sure we get the mayonnaise mixed in there and the buttermilk. Oh look, I found a big chunk of Italian parsley. That's okay. That's what homemade is. Because we don't want store-bought stuff on our salads. Alright, so this is really simple. It's going to be good. It needs to be in the refrigerator for about half an hour to really kind of let it set up, but I just want to cheat and make sure that it's not deathly. Wow, it's really good. I was nervous when I saw those big, huge Chipotle peppers, but I gotta say, it's not nearly as hot as I thought it was going to be, and I like hot things, so no, this is pretty good. So, why do I make all this? Because let me tell you, not only is this great on your salads, you know, if you really want to kind of spark up a salad, this is a perfect dressing. But you know what I like to do? I like to make like Southwest wraps with chicken and avocado and onion and tomato. Drizzle some of that on there, and let me tell you, then you really see where all that flavor comes from and how good it can be. And so anyway, this was just a quick little thing I wanted to show you all because I've been kind of working on it. Because like I said, I kind of walked away from this recipe, and I've been using Chipotle peppers and a lot of other things like my refried beans, and got familiar enough with them that I wanted to try this. So this is it. This is simple, and it is really, really good. And I keep telling you, you know, I'm not a big fan of unitaskers. You know, it really took me a long time to decide I wanted to buy an immersion blender. But now that I have, I've kind of gone out and done other things with it. And so, you know, it's kind of worth it. If you look at Amazon, I got the cheapest one, well, almost the cheapest one there. You know, for 23 bucks, I got a really nice immersion blender. It comes with all these accessories you'll never use, like the whisk. If you're ever trying to use it, you have stuff flying everywhere. But as far as an immersion blender goes, it's a really good one. Enough of boring stuff. I want you to, someone needs to try this and tell me how delicious it is. And I want you to subscribe, ring the notification bell so you get all updated on it. And like anything else, please comment. Have a great day. Get in the kitchen, get your kids to try this. Just tell them not to stick their finger in the immersion blender. It's pretty well guarded, so pretty safe, but yeah, that might be the part you have to do. They can mix in the other stuff. Alright, have a great day.